The Reverend Jesse L. Jackson, a protege of Martin Luther King Jr. and two-time presidential candidate who led the civil rights movement for decades after King's assassination, died on February 17th. He was 84. His daughter, Santita Jackson, confirmed that he died at home, surrounded by family. As a young organizer in Chicago, Jackson was called to meet King at the Lorraine Motel shortly before King was killed. He publicly positioned himself thereafter as King's successor. Jackson led a lifetime of crusades in the United States and abroad, advocating for the poor and underrepresented on issues from voting rights and job opportunities to education and healthcare. Through his Rainbow/Push coalition, he channeled cries for black pride and self-determination into corporate boardrooms, pressuring executives to make America a more open and equitable society. When he declared, "I am somebody," in a poem he often repeated, he sought to reach people of all colors. "I may be poor, but I am somebody. I may be young, but I am somebody. I may be on welfare, but I am somebody," Jackson intoned. Born on October 8, 1941 in Greenville, South Carolina, Jackson rose from obscurity in the segregated South to become America's best-known civil rights activist since King. By 1965, he joined the voting rights march King led from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. King later dispatched him to Chicago to launch Operation Breadbasket, an effort to pressure companies to hire black workers. Jackson was with King on April 4, 1968, when the civil rights leader was slain in Memphis, Tennessee. Jackson's account was that King died in his arms. In 1971, he formed Operation Push, originally named People United to Save Humanity, declaring a sweeping mission from diversifying workforces to registering voters in communities of color nationwide. Despite once saying he would not run for president, Jackson ran twice for the Democratic nomination and won 13 primaries and caucuses in 1988, more than any black politician before Barack Obama. His supporters chanted his slogan, "Keep Hope Alive." Jackson also met world leaders and scored diplomatic victories, including the release of US Navy Lieutenant Robert Goodman from Syria in 1984, and the release of Americans imprisoned abroad. In 2000, President Bill Clinton awarded Jackson the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the country's highest civilian honor. Despite profound health challenges in his final years, Jackson continued protesting against racial injustice into the era of Black Lives Matter. In a statement, his family said, "Our father was a servant leader not only to our family, but to the oppressed, the voiceless, and the overlooked around the world," and asked people to honor his memory by continuing the fight for justice and equality.